Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Ira Victor joins us. He's a digital forensic analyst with DiscoveryTechnician.com. We're going to be talking ransomware and a whole lot more on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. 40 years ago, Hotel California and the theme from Rocky were #1 on the pop charts, and D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal started on the road to becoming Nevada's leading roofing company.
I couldn't be more proud of what we've achieved.
And over these 40 years, we've become an employee-owned company. So when you're talking to any employee, you're talking to an owner.
And here's to the next 40 years.
Happy 40th birthday, D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up to date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Truck drivers are some of the hardest working people you'll meet, delivering over 70% of America's freight and 92% of Nevada's. When there's a natural disaster, they're delivering critical supplies to help those communities recover and rebuild. Every sector of the economy and our nation's military rely on truck drivers. So let's take a moment to say thank you. On the open road or city streets, our truck drivers are rolling to make our economy and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always pleased, even though he scares us, to welcome Ira Victor to the program. He is a digital forensic analyst with DiscoveryTechnician.com. Pleasure to have you back on the program,
Good
sir.
to be here today, Sam.
One of the biggest fears that I think governments and companies have is ransomware. Explain what it is, if you will, briefly, and then tell us what kind of things you're dealing with as far as ransomware goes.
Sure. So ransomware is when cyber criminals attack a digital system, computers, servers, networks, and they lock up the data, encrypt it, sometimes steal it too, and then they say, well, if you want your computer systems and business basically back running, pay us a fee. And then we'll give you the key to decrypt it. Unfortunately, they're thieves, so they're not honest. So many times, many people are actually paying the ransomware, but you don't actually always get your business back because the cyber criminals now know that you're one that can be taken, and so they'll come back again and again and still keep doing it. So it's a very vicious attack. It's very destructive. And it's hitting right here in Nevada and across the country.
Okay, so what's your advice to somebody whose company is hit by this?
Yeah, great question. Don't pay the ransomware. That's the first
Who
mistake.
do you call? I mean, apart from Ira Victor, but who?
Yeah, you need to get expert help. And it's not your IT people. This has now gone beyond the people that, set up your computers and keep your servers running and printers running. You need expert help. Yes, we do it, but there are other people as well. And you need to get that expert help because the steps that are taken early on, both in correcting the issues on the ransomware, but also taking the right steps to protect yourself from litigation. The litigation that is emerging from digital information is exploding.
Okay, so explain that. You've been hit by ransomware,
yes,
but you've got to protect yourself from who's going to litigate against you.
All sorts of people that feel the downstream impact from, let's say, your business being taken offline or their systems get infected because your systems are infected by an attack. So you not only need to protect yourself today as a business person from the litigation when you get hit by cybercrime, but also when cyber criminals hit, all sorts of other parties that do business with you can find themselves ensnarled in litigation. That's also happening all across the country.
All right, so are you recommending then that people get insurance to cover that kind of situation?
Well, insurance can help, but the devil's in the details. A lot of times people are buying insurance policies that are not covering them for the real the kind of damage that they can sustain. So the devil's in the details. So the right insurance policy can help. A lot of people end up with the wrong insurance policy. A lot of preventative, no, not a lot. There are some good preventative steps that businesses can take to anticipate that, hey, either we're going to be hit or someone we do business with is going to be hit, and therefore reduce the cost of litigation. 75% of corporations in the United States today are always under some form of litigation.
Right.
There are more attorneys in the United States than there are in all other countries in the world combined.
Right, right.
So this is, without getting into the philosophy of whether that's good or bad, just the nuts and bolts are that if you're not prepared before the bad thing happens, your cost when litigation does happen against your business can be exponentially higher.
Now, do you also, in addition to calling a company like yours, do you call the FBI? Do you call the police? Who do you call?
Yeah, so it's good. So the answer is yes. It's good to call. In some cases, the FBI is good to call, local police. But don't think that they're going to come to your rescue. It's good that you call them because they can combine your attack with other attacks from other people that have called and go out and arrest the people. I've been involved in some of those cases where law enforcement was involved, but not that they were helping recover or helping in the litigation, but you had some satisfaction knowing, hey, these guys have done this to dozens of other companies and now they've been arrested and our company is on the list of people that were damaged.
All right, so you're suggesting then that this is as much domestic as it is foreign now.
It is, yes. And here's what's interesting. Historically, 10 years ago, a lot of the cybercrime that we saw happening were attacks that came from jurisdictions where there isn't good law enforcement. Brazil, Belarus, Ukraine, right? Parts of Eastern Europe or Asia. But now we are still seeing those attacks. The overall number of attacks are exploding, but they're actually, I'm seeing traffic that traces back to the United States and then maybe hop out of there, but that there are people now that are in the United States doing this. So the arrests that law enforcement made on one case that I worked on, they had people that were involved, defendants that were outside of the United States and defendants that were actually living in the United States. So there are people doing this right here right in the United States, right in our communities.
Are we seeing state actors like the government of North Korea raising funds by doing something like this?
Yeah, so I have not worked on a case directly where I trace the traffic back to North Korea. But there are lots of reports, and I'm not surprised about it. By the way, when you trace traffic, it's really a tricky thing because a bad guy can get control of a server in another country and then launch their attacks from that other country. And it's quite challenging to say, okay, what are we going to do? Break into that server to see where it came from? We don't want to do that. So we say, hey, the traffic stops here. We don't know where it goes from there. Based on my experience with that kind of hopping, we call it, and the reports that I see that North Korea is behind a lot of attacks to fund their country because they're under economic embargo, I'm not surprised. We are seeing, I haven't worked on any, but press reports show that you can see, North Korean code writings in some of the code. Again, you got to be careful. Somebody that can speak Korean but not be from North Korea could put that in the code either as a false flag or because they happen to speak Korean. So you have to be, attribution is difficult, but a lot of really smart people say, yeah, the North Koreans are involved and are funding a lot of their economy through cybercrime.
Iran also is a big player in this, but also, and I'm not talking about from a criminal point of view, but perhaps a warfare point of view, so is the United States.
Absolutely. So that I have no doubt. And we've got Iran, Pakistan, China, Russia. these are countries that it's not.
Those are 4 countries that have nuclear weapons.
Yes, well, but they consider, it's interesting, they consider this a way for them to attack the Western world without having to push a nuke button. Make money from it, but also undermine our economy. Absolutely.
Incredible, and very scary. I believe it was the city of Atlanta had ransomware and chose to spend $25 million rebuilding their system and not pay the ransomware.
Yeah, and I think
smart move?
Smart move, absolutely, because there are people that say, well, look, the ransomware guys are smart about this. They say, okay, it's going to take $2.5 million for our victim to recover. If we charge them $500,000 ransom, it's a bargain. They'll pay us. And some communities have paid that money. By the way, you don't write them a check; you have to send it to them in Bitcoin.
Yes.
Typically,
cryptocurrency.
That's right. But it's really, really counterproductive. First off, you're just encouraging more attacks. Secondly, you don't know when you pay off the bad guy if he's really going to go away. Is this really the cure to what ails me? And I think it gives a lot of victims a false sense of security. They want the immediate fix. And this is not typically ransomware is being launched against organizations because they have fundamental problems in securing their data and their network. And a quick fix of paying the ransomware guy doesn't stop the fundamental problem. So either him or others, he goes, hey, yeah, I attacked this network over here. They paid me $500,000. The other guys go, hot dog, we'll go after them. We'll give them a bargain. We'll just charge them $250,000 to attack them. The fundamental problem doesn't get fixed. And it's kind of strange. When I've worked with companies that have been victims of this attack, many times I do the fixes and they go, great, now you need to maintain it. And they say, well, the bad guys are out of our network. Like, no. This is how they got in because you had that complacency. And if you don't want another attack, you've got to fundamentally change how you are running your network and how you're handling risk within your organization. Or you're going to get hit by this or some sort of other attack.
All right, so a lot of small business owners out there are going to be saying, who don't have this kind of tech support, are going to be saying, well, we do all these backups. We've got this backup and that backup, and we're in the cloud and all the rest. Is that meaningless when you have some kind of cyber attack like that?
It's not meaningless, but a lot of times people have a false sense of security that they've got this one thing. I've got a backup, so I'm good. And the smart people in information security and in the risk world, we have a standard. There is a standard, the Center for Internet Security, and they have a list of right now 20 controls. And you use those 20 controls well, you can dramatically reduce the risk of getting ransomware attack and other attacks. And the interesting thing is about the first 5 controls, if you do that, you can stop over 85% of the cyber attacks that cause data breaches. Now, these are the fundamental changes I'm talking about. They're not just, oh, let's run a backup or let's have a firewall, let's have a new brand of antivirus. These are structural changes in how you manage risk with your data, but they're doable. And Center for Internet Security provides this for free. So even the smallest business, the small business not only can afford it, they actually structure the controls. So there's a category for small business controls, and a subset for medium-sized business controls, and one for enterprise, large business controls. So they actually even have it set up so it's right-sized for businesses and organizations, even government organizations of any size.
Is there a website that people can go to get more information on this?
Yes, so the Center for Internet Security, I believe it's cisecurity.org, but if you do a search, DuckDuckGo, so you're not traced, Center for Internet Security, and you can download their controls and what to do, and that's available for free. You can get help to help guide you, but all the information that you need to understand this is available for free from the Center for Internet Security. It's a nonprofit organization supported by the National Institutes of Standards and Technologies and other organizations that see problems like ransomware and want to provide real-world solutions for organizations of all sizes, public and private.
All right, let's take a break. More with Ira Victor when we come back.
Tim Tamarack Junction is South Reno's hotspot with over 450 of the latest slots and video games. Sully's Sports Bar, the Dining Car Restaurant, William Hill Sportsbook, and the Tamarack Steakhouse and Lounge. We're just north of the Summit Mall in South Virginia.
Yeah. Ahern Rentals began as Signal Gas Station on Las Vegas Boulevard. Founder John Ahern grew the business by offering rentals. His son Don built on John's legacy, growing Ahern Rentals into the largest independently owned American rental company, with 89 locations in 30 states. Don also brought his experience and vision to equipment manufacturing with Extreme Manufacturing and Snorkel. Today, Ahern Rentals continues to bring its family values to a new generation. Learn more at ahern.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Robnett, owner of Home Energy Experts. Has this ever happened to you?
Honey, did you remember to turn down the thermostat?
Forgetting to set the temperature? Not fun. We can help. Our new smart thermostat keeps the temperature set for your comfort all by itself.
I'm feeling hot now.
To increase your comfort, go to homeenergyexperts.com for details. That's homeenergyexperts.com.
The signs and symptoms of cataracts can start out small with subtle changes in your vision. So don't wait. Be proactive and take your vision into your own hands. If you're experiencing the onset of cataracts or just have questions, contact your eye care professional or call Eye Care Associates of Nevada today. Dr. Hiss has years of experience specializing in the surgical correction of eye disorders and has completed over 84,000 vision correcting procedures. At Eye Care Associates of Nevada, we'll change the way you look at the world.
The Tamarack Junction Steakhouse is known for signature steaks, handcrafted cocktails, and world-class wines. Join us Thursdays and Friday nights from 4:30 to 6:30 in the Steakhouse Lounge for live music, gourmet plates, and well-priced wines, just north of the Summit Mall on South Virginia.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Ira Victor. He is a digital forensic analyst with DiscoveryTechnician.com. During the legislative session, they were addressing some cybersecurity issues. Did they go far enough, in your opinion?
They made great strides in this session. So there always could be more could be done, but they did indeed make great strides. So I think overall, I give them a good passing grade on cybersecurity.
Is this, do you think, because of the changes we've seen in the makeup of the legislature, that we have younger people in there who have a better understanding of the digital world?
It probably does. I think also, of course, I've been on your show for a long time, Sam, and we've been out there kind of in the wilderness about this, and the world is catching up and realizing that sticking one's head in the sand is not an effective way to keep cyber criminals out of your data. So I think general awareness has gone up, and the legislature is aware of that.
In a previous show, you talked about the front door being sealed, but the back door being wide open. Have we closed part of the back door?
We're going along the way to do that. SB 302 actually had the state of Nevada now, starting next year, state agencies will be adopting the Center for Internet Security Controls. And so that will go a long way towards mitigating a very good way to reduce the risks that we were talking about a few moments ago. Won't eliminate them, there is no such thing as that, but what we want to do is reduce the risks, and that will help a great deal.
DEF CON, which in its infancy was thought of as a bunch of kooks, is now attended by all kinds of law enforcement and states like Nevada, correct?
Yeah, finally. So I've been on your show a long time saying we've got this great resource, the world's largest hacking
meeting
conference.
in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas every year, and as a great resource. And why aren't more state and local governments coming? Well, guess what? 2019 at the Voter Village, I was there, so they have these little breakout sessions where they're hacking into voting machines, and also having lectures and experts speak. And in the room, because I had the people raise their hand, who's here from state and local government? And a significant portion of the audience raised their hand. And it was a watershed moment, Sam. And there were people there from Nevada, hallelujah, and other states. And again, the awareness is really up there that, hey, the way we've been doing things is not working out too well, and we need to be having a different approach to information security. And so they're there to learn. We've got more work to do, but I think we've turned the corner.
What's your comfort level with the potential results of the 2020 election cycle?
Wow. So this is my concern. My biggest concern is there are information security risks associated with all sorts of digital systems, but that people aren't educated enough in what is really risky and what is not risky. And I think that actually the biggest risk is people being complacent where they should be concerned, and people being concerned where they're misallocating that concern. And what that does is that undermines the integrity of the election. And so that's my big concern. And I think that it's great that people were election officials were at DEF CON and learning this. And biomedical companies were attending the biohacking village. It was great.
Because we've never talked about that. That's got to be an incredibly scary situation.
It is. So that's good. We're turning the corner. But now we need to we need to say, okay, where are the real risks? What are we doing to mitigate the risks? And right here in Nevada, there was going to be a telephone caucus, and I spoke with election officials at DEF CON from other states. And I said, hey, why isn't there an outcry from election officials about this telephone voting? This is a really bad precedent. Well, that's the parties that are doing that, not the voter registrars. Like, yeah, but the voters look to you as voter registrars as the authority on the integrity of elections. And I think you have a responsibility to say, hey, this is not going to go well, and it will taint the whole election, including what the registrar said. And I was sort of pushed aside in my conversations with election officials. Well, shortly there, I'm not saying I had anything to do with it, but the news cycle started to advance, and thank heavens the Democratic National Committee decided to say to Nevada, you ain't doing a phone voting situation for President of the United States. That's really not good security. And thank heavens the state Democratic Party backed down off of that. So that's progress. We still have more to do.
More with Ira Victor when we come back.
Dimitri Prine here for Design Outdoor. Come visit Design Outdoor's store and backyard to see our wide selection of fire pits, barbecues, and pizza ovens, natural stone water features and fountains, and frost-proof pottery. Our store and backyard are located at 11600 South Virginia, just north of DeMonte Ranch Parkway. Visit designoutdoor.com or call us at 851-9499.
Can't do it. Stupid, like my mom.
We can't do anything at Mommy's because you won't pay child support.
Dad said you cheated, and he's not even sure he's my dad.
Mommy said you left both of us, so she isn't gonna let me see you. I look just like my father.
I'm divorce attorney Marilyn York, and I may represent men, but hate has no gender, only casualties. Please, stop sacrificing your children in your war against your ex.
Hi, I'm Dave Newman. Remember me? I used to be the house detective, and now I'm a realtor, full-time at RE/MAX Realty Affiliates. A lot of people ask me, how's the market? You know what? It's fantastic. If you're even kicking around the idea of buying or selling, give me a call. Let's talk about it. Call me at RE/MAX Realty Affiliates and just ask for the guy who used to be the house detective, Dave Newman.
Everyone is talking about opioids, but they're not the only drugs that can be harmful if taken in large quantities or not as prescribed. You also need to be aware of side effects from anxiety drugs, muscle relaxants, sleep aids, and stimulants. Mixing prescription drugs with other drugs or alcohol can be dangerous. If you take Ambien with a glass of wine, it may be enough to stop you from breathing. Prescribed drugs can be just as dangerous as illegal drugs. Take medications only as directed.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Ira Victor. You have concerns about school kids.
Yes, so here in Nevada, a lot of kids, a lot of programs to put computers in the hands of kids. Great concept, the execution is very worrying.
Why?
Because we need to teach the next generation about privacy and security. It's a big deal. And the school district is focusing their teaching on computer systems that are fundamentally not secure and not private. There are resources available at no charge, right here in the state of Nevada, 2 school districts to enable students to learn about privacy and security and learn about not just consuming media over their computer, but actually coding and being creators of media. And the school districts need to take advantage of those resources and help teach the next generation of children what the future is going to be like, not looking through the rearview mirror, not driving down the highway, looking through the rearview mirror, which I think the direction is that's where it's headed right now.
And obviously a much bigger topic than we've shared here, but we can look at that in a future show. But the big question, we got about 30 seconds here. Is there still such a thing as privacy?
So yes, there is. It's hard. If privacy was easy, we'd have it already. But privacy is very closely linked to security. You can't have privacy without security. And yes, you can take steps and measures to increase your privacy and increase your security. And I'll just enunciate better from what I said at the top of the show. A good start is to stop using Google and Bing and Yahoo and start using privacy-oriented search engines like DuckDuckGo.com.
And can you still use Amazon?
You can use Amazon, but you want to be able to log out of your account so they're not tracking you so much.
And that's where we have to leave it. Ira Victor, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we'll be right back. A bird's eye captures its surroundings at different heights. At Brian Culper Photography, we can make your imagination soar over buildings, parks, cityscapes, and beyond. Brian's images tell the story and get the job done. If you need a new perspective to tell your story, contact Brian today. Brian Culper Photography. Experience the bird's eye view at brianculperphotography.com.
Hi, my name's Marilyn Miner, and I'm sure you'd agree that Nevada's a very special place to live. I was born here, and my husband and I have raised our family here. I feel it's a privilege to live and work in the Truckee Meadows. I especially enjoy helping my clients reach their real estate goals. Sometimes the smallest details provide the greatest satisfaction. I'd be complimented to talk to you about your next move.
Call Marilyn Miner at Dixon Realty, 742-1280, or log on to marilynminer.com.
St. Ives Florist, for every holiday and every special occasion. For romance. Custom home design. We have the largest selection of fresh flowers in northern Nevada. And we also offer a large selection of unique gift items. Come see me, Lori Ann, at St. Ives Florist, 700 South Wells Avenue, or call me at 333-9190.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. You can also download podcasts of the show free of charge at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everywhere is Nevada Newsmakers. We'll see you on the next broadcast.